All right, so now here is the third lesson for the cocktail piano course. I understand that some of you are much more beginner, and some of you are intermediate, and some of you are advanced level players. So for right now in this chapter, I just want to talk to the beginner and intermediate level player. Now, I know that it's frustrating sometimes. You know, I'm throwing out all these ideas, and you know, you only have a week to try and get it down, and you know, it's difficult. I understand that. I also know that you might hear things or want to play things that your current playing level is not allowing you to do, all right? And that's frustrating as well. Now, understand, we all have that. I have things that I want to do that my playing level just won't allow me to do as well. I have to, like, you know, practice and work stuff out. So it takes time. You know, there's no easy way around it. But I have a little trick for you. Now, you can go through and you can play the song very simply. You know, you should be able to do this. You know, just something simple. Just, you know, roots in the left hand and the melody in the right hand. Okay? So if you can't do that, then obviously at this point you definitely want to make sure you work on that. But now, when you see these other arrangements that I've created, now you're trying to like do these arrangements, and it's, you know, like 8 measures here, you know, the bridge is another 8 measures, you know, the next A section, you know, you're trying to get down all these measures, and it's at a very high level based upon where you're at. Instead of trying, oh, so here's the trick. Instead of trying to get all of the measures together, only get a small little section together. So actually, let me do this. I'm going to go and I'm going to load up my sheet music here for phase 2. Okay. So, all right. Actually, that's fine. Let's even take. Actually, no. Let me do phase 3 because I know everyone was working on phase 3, and that was the most difficult. All right. So, in phase 3, you had this. I haven't played it in a few days here, so let's see. Whoops. All right, so something like that, okay? Now, when you're playing that, you can see there's a lot of left-hand motion going on. If you're a beginning level student, that's difficult to do. I mean, I'm reading it. It's still kind of difficult to do until you get it on your fingertips. What I would suggest you do is take one measure, right, and do the arrangement for one measure only. So, in other words, what I mean is, so you see what I did? See how I just like the second measure in? That's the measure that you try playing the arrangement. So everything else was just single note down here. You know, maybe you try it for the fourth measure as well. Now, I can almost guarantee that you're going to try and just play the whole thing anyway. Okay? I've worked with hundreds of students, and pretty much they all do the same thing. You know, it's human nature. We just want to like just try and do the entire thing, and we don't want to like wait at all. That would be the wrong approach for you. Okay? If you take that approach, I can guarantee that you're going to get frustrated. I've seen it literally hundreds of times happen. So what you want to do is take just one measure only. So use only one measure as your target. Okay? So it could be any one of the measures. But notice what happens even when you're doing that. Oops. All right, let's take that as well, even that last little part right there. So say you end up doing from measure 5. Oh, sorry. You know, so let's say you, or actually whatever, okay. That's it. There we go. You can add the 7th in there as well if you wanted to. Okay, the G augmented 7th with the sharp 5 there. Okay. Now, you usually don't want to like go ahead and just play roots in the left hand and melody in the right hand because it sounds thin, right? It doesn't sound full and rich like we want it to, right? But that's okay. It's better to have it sound thin and every now and again come up with something that creates a bigger, fuller arrangement, okay? Because what's going to happen is the listener is going to think, oh, it's just like playing real sparse to get to that real meaty, juicy stuff, okay? So you have this sparse, sparse measures where you're just doing left hand bass, single note, and then the right hand is playing the melody. And then every now and again you play a measure that has, the full chords. That's what you focus your attention on. So you just work, again, measure 2. Oops. You just keep working this. So then you get, okay. Then you try doing measure 4. Then try doing, you can try measure 5 and 6. Or try just doing measure 7 and 8. Then try doing measure 1. So then you have 1 and then 2. And then, do 3 sparse. So you get something like, okay? So it's okay if you play those sparse measures in there, all right? Because it's going to, like I said, it's going to sound like you're just leaving space, okay? So it's just a little trick to make it so that rather than you trying to come up with the entire arrangement, that it might take you weeks or even months to get it all together, then, take it easy on yourself. Do something simple that you can do, you can get underneath your fingertips, and just try and grab one measure here or there, or even one chord, just a little piece of it. Don't try grabbing the whole thing. Take it in sections. Take it in bites, okay? So, see you in the next lesson.